This is the above average Mike Sanders, and you're listening to the Interactive Interview.
Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Interactive Interview on the interactiveinterview.com. I'm James Walsh, joined as always by Daniel Edler with our special guest, Mike Sanders. Mike, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not a lot. Do you mind if we just get started?
No, go ahead, man.
First question I got for you is, were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Most definitely.
Who were some?
Definitely. Grew up on the old Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Who are some of your favorites?
In Georgia Championship Wrestling, you had like wrestler number 2, always Ric Flair, Tony Atlas, all those guys, but it was kind of a span there I got out of it. So, but there was a kind of a span where I kind of got out of it, kind of lost tune a little bit with it, but and then I kind of got I also like guys like Malenko, Benoit, those type of those type guys. As far as the new age wrestler, I guess, would be concerned.
What did you do prior to entering the wrestling business?
Oh, good God, what year? I was in the military for 4 years, United States Army, and then my father owns a towing service, towing and recovery in Smyrna, Georgia. And I worked for him for a little bit. I worked for a company called Smith Klein Beecham Clinical Labs for a while. Did that. I worked for my dad a lot, though.
Did you ever attend college?
Yeah, when I was in the military, I got quite a bit of my college out of the way. I never actually got to do my degree, but I got about 2 years out of the way while I was in the military. And they had, when I was overseas, they had some, they have a weird way of doing stuff, but they have a way you take college, and they have European, European campuses.
Right.
So, but I got a little bit under it. It was all like computer science, and when I was in the military, that's all I did was computers and kind of geeky stuff.
Kind of like what we're doing now.
I'm kind of a geek.
What led you wanted to get involved in the wrestling business?
Just honestly, I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I wanted to entertain, and actually, I was kind of, I wasn't one of these, it's like die hard. I've always wanted to grow up being a wrestler, but I like the entertainment aspect of wrestling. That's why I'm not a very big historian on wrestling, but I was actually, my dad, when I was growing up, wanted me to do comedy. So, and then I found it as an avenue to get into the entertainment industry, and then when I got into it, I just, I went through, it was pretty hard getting into it, going to the WCW power plant, and when I got into it, I just kind of, you get in your blood, you get up. It's like, whether it's 8 people or 800 or 8,000, it's just in your blood.
So. You just mentioned the power plant, and what was your time there like?
What was my little year and a half stint there? Actually, when I first went in, you have your 3-day tryout, and that was pretty much a nightmare. I guess one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life was having Sarge, which was Sarge Buddy Lee Parker at the time, in your ass for 3 days, man, just brutal. And then once you make it, you kind of graduate over to the other side a little bit to where, you've done something not everybody's done, but that doesn't mean you get a contract. And then I was there for probably about a year, and then they had a big change there to where, the power plant used to be ran by Jody Hamilton, which was one of the assassins, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, and Pez Whatley.
Right.
Which years ago was Pistol Pez Whatley.
Right.
And then Paul Orndorff came in, I guess because he was buddies with J.J. Dillon or something, and took over. We redid the whole facility, and then I went back to being pretty much a nightmare. Like just 6, 7 hours a day of just running your ass in the ground. So, but I was actually glad when I got out of there. Actually, I got fired while I was there, and then when I got hired back, I was already out of there. So.
What were you fired for?
Actually, Paul Orndorff told me that Russo and Bischoff didn't have anything for me. They didn't see anything in me, which I found out later to be a lie, because Russo didn't really know who I was at the time. you know. And Russo was one of the guys that gave me my job back. So, just Orndorff just didn't like me, man. He did not like me. I wasn't, you know, Orndorff's big on two. He likes the real big guys, and he likes the shooter guys, the ultimate fighting. He likes the ultimate fighting guys, the, you know, what do you call it, those shoot fighting guys. And I wasn't one of them. I was an entertainer. So.
Your initial Thunder broadcast when they first brought you in?
Were you talking about the deal with,
when you were backstage and everybody was beating you up?
Oh, when I did the, what I did was I think I'd wrestled Crowbar that night. I used Jarrett's guitar. And, they used Jarrett's guitar, then wound up getting hit with the guitar, dabbing him with a chair, then Canyon gave me the Canyon cutter. Yeah, that was, actually, there's a lot of TV time there, so I was kind of happy to even have that, you know. But actually, my first Thunder deal, I believe, was like, I'd actually wrestled Norman Smiley in a hardcore match. And that was like the first time I'd ever spoke on the mic or anything. So.
How do you answer the critics that say that yourself and all of the Natural Born Thrillers just weren't ready for the television?
Well, wow. I don't know if you would ever ask if anybody's ever really ready. Was I ready? Probably not. But at the same time, who's going to pass up an opportunity to be put out on a Monday Nitro and a Thunder and say, here, man, can you go fill 6 minutes of mic time with these new group of guys that are genetically just jacked up, you know? And anybody that's, like, it's kind of funny because I can find myself now looking at guys and going, well, he's not really ready. I mean, why are they pushing him? You know, and then look at me and go, well, was I really ready? But, you know, you got a lot of guys that stepped up to the plate, and I'm not saying that we hit home runs, but, you know, we were put out there. I was actually, I got to looking back at it, man, and I was like 8 segments out of 11 segments on most shows. And honestly, that's just way too much. That's almost when you're trying to shove me down somebody's throat, you know. But at the same time, I don't regret it because it gave me some name recognition. Not a lot, but some, you know.
What was your memories of your commissionership?
Wow. Well, like my first memory of my my greatest memory is when I actually got to go toe-to-toe with Ric Flair. Not wrestling, but just on the mic.
Right.
And I will never forget the promo. It was a promo to where I came out on stage, and me and him went back and forth. It was a very good verbal exchange. And then I was, you know, putting over Scott Steiner, and then Arn Anderson came on the monitor behind me, and that was like my best memories. Like and also when they brought him in, you know, my interview was, I don't know who this new CEO is, and they brought Ric Flair out. And I'm standing in the ring with Ric Flair, a guy that, you know, I used to watch on TV as a kid, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, how cool is this? But like one of my like, I don't know what kind of memory you would call this, was when I first started wrestling Cat to Cat, Ernest.
Right.
Like when we first did the whole deal. Like I had he you know, he does all martial arts stuff.
Right, kickboxing, right.
Yeah, and then I had a knot in my throat for like the whole 2.5, 3 months him and I wrestled. Just because of the chops that he did, every time just caught me right in the throat. And don't get me wrong, I'll tell you something. I love Ernest Miller to death because he taught me a lot about going out there and just, you know, being who you are and doing the whole mic thing. But man, I had a lump in my throat all the way through Australia.
Dan, you want to take the next one?
You were a cruiserweight champion, but did you like being classified as a cruiserweight?
It really didn't bother me. I mean, it was a title, and I was like, okay, I got a title now, you know. But you know, at the same time, they weren't really putting a lot of emphasis on the cruiserweight belt. And it was a lot, actually, being the commissioner and being the cruiserweight champ, and it was kind of weird. I didn't mind being classified because at that time, it's like, I don't even know if they really had a good structure for cruiserweight. Because, you know, when Ray and those guys were and Hoovy and all those guys were doing it, like, you know, you knew, okay, here's the cruiserweight division. These guys are high flyers. Not that I can't high fly. I'm 6'1", I'm 235 pounds. It's like, it's a big difference being, you know, 170 pounds.
Right.
So.
What are your memories of Kevin Nash and the coach angle?
The memories of that was, God, this is such a hard thing to explain, was we took a line. Do you remember the deal where I used to go, are you going to be S-O-L?
You know what that means?
Yeah. Well, that line was kind of actually, I mean, I'm not going to say it was, yeah, well, it was stolen. And it was like, how that, let me just say this, how that line came about to be on TV is kind of one of my fondest memories of Kevin. And, but he's been a really good friend of mine, and like I said, we still talk, and he was a leader then, and actually, like his deal is he wanted to work with all of us. You know, he wanted to have fun, and which made us real comfortable and made us want to go out there and have fun and do it, you know? So, and also, and I don't know if you ever saw it, but like when we had to turn on him, and then the punch that Palumbo gave him just looked so good. And I remember him like coming back in the back going, you know, a normal guy probably would have went flat on his back.
Many say that during the dying days of WCW, it became a dreadful place to work, and people found it just not fun anymore. Did it ever become not fun for you to work there?
No, because I always kind of made the best of it, even up when everybody was going, oh, we're going to get bought out, you think you're going to have a job with WWE, and I was like, you know, if I don't, I guess I don't need to be there, you know, and if I do, hey, that's great, you know, and I wasn't really worried about it, because, I mean, I'd given 110%, and I'd had fun, I'd lived a dream, you know. I was on Monday Nitro and Thunder, and it's like, okay, you've done your best. If you don't get picked up and it doesn't happen for you, what do? I'm not a guy that sits around and is going to dwell on, you know, whether or not he has a spot or has a position, because I know what it's like to have a regular 9 to 5, and I know what it's like to be in the military. So for Mike Sanders to have to, let me think how to say this, to go get a real job is not, you know, it's I don't worry about that. I don't sit and dwell on, okay, oh man, the company's, they're going to get bought out. I just, you know, it's not me. You know, you got to keep on keeping on, I guess.
After WCW, you worked the HWA with pretty much the same guys that were in the Natural Born Thrillers. What are your memories of working that territory?
The HWA, it was really weird. I mean, we were kind of, you know, we were a WWE developmental territory.
Right.
They took all of us to WrestleMania. We were up in the Skybox deal, which was great. And then, like, it's almost kind of funny because, like, out of the 10 people that got took to WrestleMania, I think only the Natural Born Thrillers, like me, Jindrak, and O'Hare, got sent down to developmental territories where everybody like Hugh and Chavo and all those guys went right up there, you know. I just wanted to show you what kind of heat we had. Anyway, but you know, living with Mark Jindrak in Cincinnati was kind of a fun time. You know, he got moved to Louisville, and being with the guys up there, and just being with, you know, you were being able to be with the crew that you come through the ranks with was kind of special, you know, because we all kind of looked out for each other. But like when they started firing people up there, man, it was just kind of like, oh, you know, sad times, you know.
Yeah.
You had a short stint with WWE under WWE contract, and then it was known that you was released from that developmental deal. Why did that come about, and did you enjoy your time being with WF?
You know what? It was an experience. It was a very big learning experience, and the reason I say that was because I got to work alongside Jim Cornette down in Louisville, and Danny down in Louisville. Working with those guys gave me a lot of experience, and I got a chance to go to some of the WWE shows, do some of the dark matches, and work alongside some of their crew. And it was a good experience. I guess the reason I got fired was that at the time, you know, they were the budget cuts, and the creative really just didn't have anything for me. And you know, WWE, I can't say, you know, it's not a company that's going to let you sit around and just draw a paycheck. You know, you got to produce for them. You know, and if they don't have anything for you and you can't produce, then there's probably not a reason to keep you on the roster. So, and then, you know, I don't know. There's been a lot of things. I used to sit back and, you know, think that, oh, well, I had a lot of heat up there and it was political, and you know, I even told a story a couple of times that had to do with Paul Heyman, but, you know, all in all, if, you know, WWE just didn't have a spot for me, they didn't have one, you know, so.
What led to you going to NWA TNA?
What's that?
What led to you going to NWA TNA?
Well, when I got released from the WWE, it's kind of funny, like that day I got released, I drove down and sat down and I talked with, I drove down to WWE and, you know, I sat down and talked with Jeff early, and Jeff was like, you know, when your 90 days are up, you know, we really want you to come here. I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know. So I kind of felt like I'd already had a spot there. And then at that time, we had the WWA offered me a chance to go over there in Europe,
right,
and do the commissionership with them and wrestle. And then let me just add to that, as I wrestled a guy named Joe Legend,
right,
you know, for 9 nights over there, and probably had some of the best matches I've ever had in my whole entire career. And I'm not just saying because of me, I'm saying because of that. Joe Legend is just that good. I mean, really helped me, led me. It was just a different experience working with somebody with that. I mean, that just had that much knowledge. And even with the microphone skills and everything, he's got tremendous mic skills. And then while I was over there, you know, actually I got a chance to sit down with Jeff, and because Jeff came over for the pay-per-view, and just seemed really interested in having me there. You know, me and him had a talk to where he said, you know, I really don't see you part of the X division, which I understand that because, you know, a lot of those guys, I mean, the Amazing Red and SATs and those guys, I mean, they're just phenomenal.
right.
And then, you know, when I got back from the WWA tour, had a couple of weeks off, did some stuff for MLW, and then started in January with NWA TNA.
While you were doing that tour in Europe and with the WWA, you were working as a babyface. Do you enjoy working as a face or a heel?
I was over there. It was, I don't know if it was just that crowd or just being over there, but I had probably some of the best responses. And like I said, a lot of it had to do with working with Joe Legend. I mean, the chemistry was there, the verbal microphone was there, and the reaction and the response that him and I got, it really felt good. And it was kind of at that point to where, I mean, everybody my whole life's been, you know, like, you're just a natural heel, you know how to piss people off. But I went over there as a babyface, and I really felt good about it, you know. So.
Dan?
What did you think of the Hard 10 concept?
I thought it was different. I thought it was very, very different. I think it took a while for the people to catch on. I think at first there was like people didn't really understand it.
Right.
But when people caught on to it, I thought it was different. You know, it's not something that you see. You know, it's not just your regular, you know, bunkhouse brawl or over the top battle royal or, you know, three-way dance. It was just a little something different that you know, TNA was able to do and bring to the table. So, and to be the first guy to ever, you know, to win the first match in the first Hard 10, you know, it kind of made me feel kind of good. So.
Do you see the NWA TNA taking off?
I think they've got a lot of direction, some good direction that they're going in now. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of good guys, a lot of not really a lot of egos, you know, just a lot of guys working hard up there, you know, because they want to see it take off. And when you've got, you know, if you've got a lot of positive attitudes, you know, it's kind of hard for a company to fail. You know, if everybody's on the same page and everybody's busting their ass for one, it's like, you know, it's like 100 troops that all want to go to war and just kick ass. You know, it's like even if you've got 1 or 2 bad apples, you're still going to do a good job. You're still going to take off. And I think they've came a long way. They've been there a year, you know. So I think they've got a lot of potential, and with a positive attitude and everything, I think it's got, you know, it can go places.
Is there a future for you there?
I don't know. I haven't spoke with the creative team in about 3 weeks. So I really don't know what direction they're going or where they're going with Mike Sanders, or if they're even going anywhere with Mike Sanders. I haven't been told. So I could not tell you.
Dan, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. On screen, Mike TNA and yourself seem to have a bit of a more hostile relationship than some other people. How do you really get on along with Mike?
I love him to death. He is a He's a consummate professional. He really is. He's a good guy. Always really treated me really good in WCW. Always just was really helpful. I give a top 10 ranking to him. He's a really good guy, good individual too, good person.
You mentioned it before. You worked with MLW. What do you think of that company, and do you think their Sunshine deal could lead to them being the next ECW?
I don't know. Like I said, I did one show down in Florida for MLW down. That's when I worked. Me and Jimmy Yang with Dr. Death and some other guy named C.J. Freeman. But I don't know a lot about the group. I do. Are they the Sunshine deal? Are they down in Florida?
Sunshine is based in Florida, but it's on some random digital cables outlets, but not a lot.
Because the guys from, what is it? I think it's Wrestle Talk America, Wrestle Talk Live. They always kind of keep me up to date on that down there. So I don't know the future of that. I don't know a lot about the company, so I really can't comment on that or speculate.
Do you have anything to say to your fans?
I appreciate I do appreciate the support. I get a lot of support. I talk to people all the time. Man, watch the show. Where you been? That type of thing. The fan support, even over in Europe especially, has just been really good. And I just say, keep it up, and hopefully Mike Sanders will still be around for a while.
Do you mind if we close out with some word associations?
No, go ahead. I'll try to. Let's see if we can.
Vince Russo.
Friend.
Glenn Gilberti.
Friend.
Kevin Nash.
Good friend.
Big Vito.
Wow. He's a good guy.
Paul Orndorff.
Miserable.
Paul Heyman.
Don't really know him.
Wes Thatcher.
Crazy old man, but with a good heart.
Jim Cornette.
A teacher.
Brian Lee.
Good guy. Really good guy.
Raven.
Wow. I don't want to say he's a good friend, but I got to say just different, like just out there.
Jeff Jarrett.
Not a good worker.
Last one I have to say is Vince McMahon.
Genius.
Well, again, we want to thank you for this interview, and stay tuned for more from the Interactive Interview.
Enjoying what you're hearing? Be sure and check out WrestlingEpicenter.com on social media at Facebook.com/WrestlingEpicenter, on Twitter at James Epicenter, and of course, WrestlingEpicenter.com for 24-hour news updates, our interview archives, and all the other information you've come to expect from the Wrestling Epicenter.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Remember me? And you're listening to the Interactive Interview.
Welcome back to the Interactive Interview on the interactiveinterview.com. If you don't know who I am by now, check your battery. Dan, what you think of the interview?
Yeah, good. Except I could have killed you at a couple of points, but that will, if I can.
Could have killed me?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, at the end, I just had this brilliant way to word a couple of questions, and you threw me the one question that I obviously wasn't thinking about wording.
You weren't trying. I wasn't trying to throw you anything.
I got the impression you were trying to throw me that one question. I was like,
No.
James, don't throw me that question. That's the one I haven't been thinking about. Of course.
Were you talking like one of the secretaries from Duckman? Were you thinking like one of the secretaries from Duckman? That's how you just sounded. Mr. Duckman!
Oh my god, I really did, didn't I? Oh my. We should get the voice of Duckman on here. Or even better, the creator of Duckman. Let's get the creator of Duckman on here.
Ed Farrar?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he denies it. He denies it.
Why would you deny that?
I don't know. He said he wasn't on there. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But I know I know a lot of people have said he is, and he's categorically denied the rumor for quite a long time now.
Why would you deny that?
That was a funny show.
Exactly. Even if he wasn't on it, you'd say, go on then, yeah. Everyone thinks it happened.
I love them. I watch them still at like 3 o'clock in the morning on Comedy Central.
I watch them all, I used to watch them on Paramount. Because after Nickelodeon finished in the UK, they used to show Paramount on the evenings.
What's Paramount?
Like, I guess you don't have it in America, but it's like a comedy channel, like Comedy Central, but probably the English version or whatever.
Ah, cool. So you guys don't have Nickelodeon anymore?
No, we do. Yeah. It was like when Nickelodeon finished, we switched to that. I mean, I don't know if Nickelodeon's 24 hours now or what, but I haven't watched it in God yonks.
I watch Nick at Night every night, so that's on Nickelodeon. Basically at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, they switch over to Nick at Night, and they just show old, like, sitcoms and stuff, so I watch that all the time.
Alright.
Favorite show is Wings.
I
love that show.
The last time I watched that was possibly when I used to have breakfast in the morning.
Watch Nickelodeon or watch Wings?
No, Nickelodeon. I'd watch Nickelodeon in the morning when I had breakfast. Then again, I stopped having breakfast in the morning when I was about 15. No,
Did you stop waking up in the morning?
About 13. Yeah, I've since I've been about 16, I've stopped waking up in the morning, yeah. Except for school, sort of now and again.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning is too passe. If you don't have a job, then there's no point. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I roll out of bed quite easily, yeah.
Well, why don't you tell people how much I've slept in the last couple of days?
I believe it was 3 hours after NWA TNA last night, was that not correct?
That's pretty much it, yeah. Right after TNA ended, I was like, I stumbled into this room and I sat at the computer and I wrote a couple emails. And halfway through the email, I just looked at what I was typing. I'm like, am I making any sense? So I stumbled into this room and I just passed out for a little while, and that's pretty much the only sleep I've gotten in about 4 days, so 3 or 4 days.
Well, following up on the Devon Storm interview where my foot was...
Devon Storm?
For that.
That was last... What?
Mm-hmm. Following up on that, my foot is really, really hurting. I mean, the interview was put up a good few days ago.
Right.
And it was just the sort of thing that, like, you wake up in the morning and you think you've laid on it badly.
Mm-hmm.
No. I've spoken to 2 medical professionals now.
Mm-hmm.
A medical professional and my dad, who doesn't really count as a medical professional, but he's pretty clever. And they both think it's a hairline fracture.
Hairline fracture. Now, how could you have done that?
Exactly. How can I have done that? I think it's more sort of a muscle strain that I've just gotten worse by playing tennis on it.
Tennis.
But then again, if it's a muscle strain, that wouldn't really explain how, like the structure of my foot's hurting rather than the inside of my foot. So,
I haven't got a clue, actually. I really don't. But I wish you the best. I mean, geez. I've hurt myself. I've woken up one time with a bloody hand because I punched the wall in my sleep. I do that all the time. I can fight in my sleep and then wake up and I punch something. In my house in New Jersey, I used to have, like, dents in the wall from where I was sleeping.
I've been told that I talk in my sleep, which did worry me because I've just come back off holiday. And on holiday, I'd have to share a room with people now and again.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes females, sometimes males. And I really, because they're all my friends, and I don't know how to talk about people I know, so I was really worried that maybe I'd start speaking about the person in the room with me. I mean, I don't think good things about people. If there's something good about people, I'd normally tell them. And then again, most of the time I end up telling them the bad things as well. Yeah.
But you haven't ever told me anything good about myself.
No. Take a hint.
Take a hint, take a hint.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you think of the Mike Sanders interview? I think we went...
Good. That's always good. I wouldn't rank it as one of our best.
Yeah, why not?
I just don't know, I just don't think it was one of our best.
I think it's as good as Danny Doring's, but Danny Doring's was a good one.
I don't think it was as good as Danny Doring's.
You like Danny Doring's because he was talking about his platinum balls.
You see, you have to find an ulterior motive for me to like an interview.
No, I just...
You think I like Francine because she was flirting with me? You think I like Danny Doring because he's...
She was Whoa. Go back to that one. She was doing what with you?
Flirting is what you said. You said because she liked my accent.
And I think that's flirting?
That's what you said at the time.
I did.
Yeah, it is.
Did I?
I believe you. You said it on the recap.
I don't think I did.
Take it back. Or it might have been a phone call to me, given I call you so often now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if she was flirting with you, man.
No, I don't think she was, but that's what you said.
But I do have to say that the one part of the show when we flipped over the tape, which you can't even hear because I'm such a wizard with our recording equipment, is when you and her were talking off the air while I was setting things up, and I came back and I picked up the phone and she was going, uh-huh, uh-huh. I was thinking, what is she doing? And what is he doing? And I thought maybe they are flirting and doing other things as well, but...
You're strange.
Yes, well, you...
Yes, you are.
Well...
Hi, Francine up there.
Well, look at it this way. Francine is probably one of the most beautiful women in wrestling history. You're a horny British guy. So...
Generalization.
Is it a generalization? I don't even know if that's like a rumor about British people or not.
No, that's a stereotype. Get your words.
I heard the stereotype is that British people are like proper.
Oh?
Proper, you know?
Proper.
Proper.
I hate stereotypes. Anyway, yeah, back to my sentence. Yeah, it was like an interview. I would like to have known more about his thoughts on certain things.
Don't say too much because you don't want any other show to pick it up.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
It seemed to me like he toned down. I read another interview he did with Furnace.
Furnace.
Not the guy from Furnace and LaFawn. Oh, whatever happened to those guys, by the way?
Who?
Furnace and LaFawn.
Okay, must be.
They wrestled in ECW a couple times, and the WWF brought them up. I can't remember what they called them. I think it was Doug Furnace and Philip LaFawn.
Yeah, I know Philip LaFawn.
Right.
I don't know about Doug Furnace.
I don't know.
I think doesn't he work with the Rougeaus in Quebec now?
Does he? That's what I asked you for. I mean, I don't know where to
Name slash like place rings bell. Bell not loud enough to confirm. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Anyway, as you were saying.
What the hell was I talking about? Oh, I read an interview with him about Doug Furnace and what am I talking about Doug Furnace and Philip LaFawn now?
Richard Furnace.
Richard Furnace, yes. He's a friend of yours, is he not?
Yeah.
Is he from America or?
Nope, England.
You British people are into your wrestling.
Why are we discussing him? Yeah, the interview.
So I read an interview with him, and he was going on and on about how he blames Paul Heyman about him not being with the WWE anymore.
Yeah, he made a slight comment about that.
He made a slight comment about it, but he said that he used to blame Paul Heyman, but he doesn't anymore.
Yeah, which is good. Good to know that he doesn't blame Paul Heyman.
Are we trying to better up Paul Heyman for some reason?
No.
Is he like bouncing?
Paul Heyman isn't the upcoming WWE guest we've got lined up, is he?
No. Do you know who is? Are we allowed to say?
Should we say it or should we keep it a secret?
Sidebar. Sidebar.
What's that mean?
That means you come over here and we talk and nobody else can hear us, but they really can hear us, but we're supposed to pretend that they can.
Okay, right. Let's pretend, yeah. Well,
let's just pretend they can't hear us. Do you want to tell them?
We could tell them.
Yeah, but do you think that'd be a good idea?
I don't know, because he seems like he kind of wasn't listening. He seemed like he kind of... I think we woke him up when we asked him, but... I don't know, so... Yeah.
He's like, well, you want to do an interview? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what's this about? And I said, wrestling. And he was like, okay, well... I was like, when do you want to do it? And I said, okay, how about next Thursday? And he said, okay. And that was it.
Well, let's kind of say it, and like, say it's not 100% confirmed, but it's kind of, you know, sort of probable, and if it doesn't happen this time, it'll happen in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah? Should we nationalize that, yeah?
Let's do it that way.
Okay, right.
Alright.
And sidebar, yeah.
Alright.
And
a sidebar.
Cool.
Hi, everybody. Did you miss us?
We just had a drink.
Yes. We just went to a bar, and we just met some girls, and it was a lovely time. You should have been there.
Oh, yeah.
Should have really been there.
What we was talking about before, I can't remember. Something else we can talk about, because I don't think it was what we was talking about before. Was it, James?
What? No, we weren't talking about that, no. I don't know what it was.
Upcoming guest.
Oh, who was that?
Oh, who is he?
Yes.
I'll give you the pleasure of saying his name. I'll say the nickname in the middle. You say the first name and then the first name.
Ernest
The cat.
Miller. Wow, I feel good. No, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
That was James Brown. I used to be, I could do that if I actually want to, like, kill my voice.
Oh, that's nice.
I actually, you should hear my room around 3 o'clock in the morning when I haven't slept. I sit down and I just, like, start singing weird songs. I can actually do it, too. Once I recorded myself singing a James Brown song and it sounded good.
Well,
I'm not even a James Brown fan, but I was bored.
that's very good. I'm going to change subjects. Yeah, my friend Sean wants to be on that interview. Not the interview itself, but the after show.
Sean.
A.k.a. Dying Tickles from 3SW Forums.
What ethnicity is he?
What?
He looks like really tan in his picture.
His picture?
Is that him on 3SW forums?
You're thinking of someone else.
Dying Tickles?
Yeah, that's Dying Tickles, yeah.
And who are we talking about?
We're talking about Dying Tickles.
Doesn't Dying Tickles have a picture of himself?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it. The possibility, I suppose.
He's like a crew cut.
No.
I could have sworn it was him.
You're thinking someone else. I'm pretty sure.
Sidebar.
Hi.
I don't think I'm talking about somebody else.
I think you are.
I think you should check it out.
What flash?
I don't know. Look at the bring back the Glam Slam Metal Man. I think he posted one on there. He kind of stabbed me in the back on there too. Don't think I didn't notice that, Pally.
You what?
He kind of stabbed me in the back.
Who did?
Dying Tickles.
Yeah, well.
He was like started singing "Hey, hey, hey, goodbye."
Do you think it's a surprise?
You think what's a surprise?
I mean, no. It's you after all.
Yeah, everybody hates me.
Yeah.
Everybody hates me. End the sidebar.
I wanted to tell you for a while. Yeah. I get you laughing. Taking it very well. That's good.
Everybody hates me.
You're laughing. Yeah.
End of sidebar?
Yeah.
What were we in the sidebar? Okay. We're back.
Right, yeah. So, Ernest Miller, who is confirmed today. There was, we had, who was it? About 7 interviews lined up, wasn't it?
8 interviews lined up and 1 I refused.
7 to go.
Yes.
Got that when he's done, and finished Mr. Mike Sanders. Appreciate his time today.
We also have the forum for the Kiss Demon up right now.
Uh-huh.
So I would like for you guys to actually pose questions for him.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Dale Torborg, the Kiss Demon, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a guy that was under contract at WCW for like probably around 4 years. Had feuds with Vampiro. Toured with Kiss. How could you not have questions for a guy that toured with Kiss? I mean, this guy's seen shit that some people just shouldn't see. Ask him.
God woman. So yes,
What'd you say?
Got that. Got them too. And I'm quite looking forward to the Dale interview because I think you're going to end up handling it because I think you're going to mark out.
Why? Because he was the demon?
Pretty much. Because you've been requesting to try and get him on the show quite a while, and we just did it. So.
Yes, everybody knows I'm a big Kiss fan. So how could you not want to interview the only...
I love to kiss you too. So, we've got them two, and we've got Kevin Sullivan.
Sidebar.
What?
What the hell was that line there?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay. I hope so. Make sure people realize that.
Okay.
Alright, we're back.
Yeah, so Kevin Sullivan.
Yes.
That makes 3. Right, I can count. We have a surprise guest, which we're not going to even mention.
Is this the real big one?
Yeah, it's the real big one.
Yes, we're keeping that one a secret.
He's coming in the middle of August.
Yes.
Just after your little vacation.
Yes, yes. I'll be attending a Kiss concert, ironically enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's 4. We got Jimmy Hart.
Right.
Jimmy. That's very nice.
Yes.
I see they've let you out the insane side.
You never seen Timmy?
I have. But I just don't go around saying his name everywhere. There being a little different. Yeah. And of course we got, this is the other one we wasn't going to mention.
I can't think of who the other one was.
The translator and
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then one other surprise.
What the fork are you talking about? I gave it away.
You get it, yeah?
Yeah, I think anybody that has a brain could probably figure that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I frightened you, haven't I?
No. You just set me off my track. Back on track. So, yeah, that's 7, not 8. I was wrong. It's only 7.
There was one other one.
Oh, and who was that then?
I don't remember, but I know there was one other one.
There was 2 surprises.
We have 3 on Tuesday.
Yeah,
We have 3.
We've got Mr. Jimmy Hart, Mr. Ted DiBiase, and
That's the other one.
I just said Ted DiBiase.
You did not.
I so did.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I thought it. Forgot to say. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you said it and I was just completely ignoring you while I was doing my Timmy thing.
Funny guy.
What the hell? Was that laughing or crying? Or somewhere in between?
Yes. I'm talking of crying. If I don't go to bed and rest my foot, that's what I'm gonna do.
Is it okay for men to cry?
As long as there's no one around.
No, seriously, I'm trying to figure this out because I'm... Alright. Who was it? Gooch?
Yeah.
Was it Gooch? Gooch wrote something on the forums that I play this sensitive guy and all this shit. And he's like, that went out in the 90s. Well, first of all, I'm not playing anything. That's just the way I am. But I'm trying to figure out if it's okay to cry in this decade. I know in the 70s and 80s it was. In the 90s you were supposed to be tough. Even though the sensitive guy supposedly got somewhere. Which I never noticed. But apparently he has. So I don't know what's going on in the whatever the hell you call this decade, the 00s.
Unfortunately, I swing in turns and roundabouts. So I can be sensitive, or I can be tough, or I can be ignorant, or I can be nice. And I've been putting more effort into my ignorant persona more recently.
Well, let's see.
I've only pissed off a couple of people, so it's all good.
Well, let's see. I pissed off the entire forums.
It's a lot more fun that way, though.
I've pissed off the entire forums.
Yeah, you single-handedly pretty much turned an entire group of nice people against you. Pretty impressive.
Why do they hate me?
Who wouldn't, my dear, who wouldn't?
And I can't help it. All I said, and the thing is, I can't figure when it lost control. I know it turned heel, and they're like, we don't believe this. This is bullshit. This is a stupid character. And then all of a sudden, I started not wanting to be heel, and they hated me. It's like when I wasn't being a heel, they hated me worse than when I was.
Oh, poor you.
And I just kept thinking, Jesus, there's something wrong with these people. And that one guy just hates me. What's his name? Hitman? He hates me. And then every customer welcome is just obnoxious. And Twisted Soul or something like that is the worst of them all. I don't know what. He should be banned, by the way. He should. Have you read what he says?
Things are pretty cool.
Have you read what he says?
Pretty in pink.
That was a good movie. Isn't that like New York, New York?
Yep.
It's up to you, New York, New York.
So yes, and also
Frank Sinatra, everybody.
we've got those upcoming guests, and we do hope to get a couple of people who have just been signed to WWE contracts.
Yes, indeed.
Hopefully, to developmental contracts.
Yeah, I haven't emailed that person.
And a couple of people who are no longer with WWE.
And a couple of people currently with WWE, and a couple of people that probably will never be WWE, and a couple of people that have never heard of WWE.
And a couple of people that have just been special guest referees at WWE.
Yes. People are probably trying to figure out who we're talking about, but I'm just like completely jabbering. I don't know.
They probably think we're talking about real people, don't they?
I'm trying to figure out, like, I guarantee you right now, Chris Chisholm is sitting there with his, what the hell's that guy's name? Jonas from Twisters. You know, you ever seen that movie, Twister?
No.
You gotta rent that movie. You have to listen to the show. Well, don't listen to his show. Take my word for it. But listen to the guy from Twister, the guy who plays Jonas. That's gotta be Chris Chisholm. It's the same voice. He's the same annoying heel character, even though Chisholm isn't playing a heel character like I am. But he's just the same guy, and he knows the hell out of me.
You really have put me to sleep.
Ah, you don't like talking about Chris Chisholm?
Not in the slightest. He's a nobody.
He's a nobody. Yet he wasn't on No Name Radio, was he?
No.
And you notice I wasn't on No Name Radio either. Who was on No Name Radio, Dan?
Who?
You.
Oh yeah, me. I know.
What's the story behind that?
Oh, that was just that was back before Glenn Gilberti and shit.
Right.
Mr. Scherer and Mr. Woodward didn't decide to help promote it because they don't like him.
They don't like who?
Gilberti.
That's why they didn't promote that show?
Yep, and they brought me up. they said my name right. It's taken me off a tiny bit, so I thought I'd just, give Dave an email, drop him an email, let him know.
What did he say? What did he say? Seriously,
He said something along the lines of, "Oh, I didn't mean to slag you off. I'm very, if you felt it was that way, you shouldn't have taken it like that, because that's not how it's meant to be. But, at the same time, it's my website, I can do what I like." Blah, 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 blah. Kind of along those lines, and a few emails, and I pretty much gave up in the end, because he was saying the same thing.
Did he say it on the air, though?
Pardon?
Did he say something about you on the air?
He did the first time, but no retaliation on the air or anything, because no need to. Because it was all just a fuss about nothing.
What did he say about you on the air?
Just something about... This is too long ago. I have this short memory thing where I remember important events from about the past week, and I remember absolute crap for about the past 4 years.
Mm.
So,
And this doesn't classify as absolute crap?
It classifies somewhere in between. Therefore it's lost completely.
Lost completely.
Mm-hmm.
Lost in the mist of your mind.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Abyss,
Oh, you're new for that.
I don't think we're going to get to interview him.
No?
But, we can try. Why not? But, if you remember back in America's Most Wanted interview, Chris Harris was talking about his good friend Justice appearing on the TNA scene soon.
Yes. Is that him?
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
I thought it was somebody else, but it's not. That's Justice.
Oh, good to know.
Yes, indeed. I broke a story. And just in case anybody was wondering, Kane was Isaac Yank in DDS.
Oh my god. Real name Glenn Jacobs. Was born in Madrid and moved to America when he was 2 years old. Sorry, yeah.
Anybody else play fake characters that we can expose right now?
Rey Mysterio is actually Kevin Nash.
Yes!
Mm-hmm.
He goes in the dryer before every appearance. Yes, yes, yes.
And Steve Austin is actually Goldberg. That's why if you ever see him in the ring, just look very carefully and you'll see the mirror.
Right.
And that's why they both do a spear. And they both do a stunner.
Does Goldberg do a stunner?
No, you fool.
Well, I've seen Austin do it to his press, which is almost a spear.
What?
A little
How the
bit.
hell can you class that as a spear?
Well, you jump up in the air and you tackle somebody.
You're pathetic.
It's not exactly... Wrestling isn't exactly rocket science, man. You don't have to... There's like... It's only so many moves that you can do with somebody. And right now they're at the point where they've done just about everything you can think of doing.
Oh no, there's a couple I can think of. You have to get Russian gymnasts in to be able to twist your body in the way that, like, one way would work, but yeah.
Hopefully... I'm not going to say that. I was about to say that the only move that hasn't been created yet is the butt fuck. And then I remember Norman Smiley doing the big wiggle, so that's not... That's gone. So, I don't think... I think almost every move that can be done has been done before. And I don't know... I'll come up with them. I came up with a couple moves that have been done since TNA started. You know the backflip that AJ Styles does? You probably haven't seen it yet. I need to think that
Wow! Hey! I'm back, but apparently our recording equipment just exploded. Daniel's no longer with us, but what I wanted to say is I'm going to a concert tonight, which is why I'm so charged and why I was so charged on the recap. So the concert will be Whitesnake, and instead of playing the song I originally had scheduled, I'm going to play something else. This is Slow and Easy.
slow and easy. And I'm going to work on the recording equipment, okay? Hopefully that won't be going slow and easy, but hopefully it'll work easily. I am rambling on. I'm rambling. Okay, I've had far too much soda tonight. I'm totally charged. Daniel, I'm sorry we lost the rest of this recap. It was pretty funny. And one of the quotes I said, I want to throw this in there real quick, is all men are failed women at birth. Okay? Hope that makes any sense to people. Have a good evening. Goodbye.